Hey everyone, and welcome to the back bedroom. I am your host, Jeffrey, and this is episode 43? I think this is episode 43. I'll have to go back and look. If it's not, forgive me. How's everybody doing? Good. Man, what a week. The last episode we did was 1 year, year one with the back bedroom, so that was a lot of fun. And now we get started on everything going forward. So, during that episode, I did get the notebook out, and I wrote some things down, but here's the thing, and I'm going to go over some stuff. We may have to move some dates around, and I'm going to tell you why. So the first thing we're going to talk about, let me see, what do I got wrote down here for my notes? So let me start off with this. Let me start off with YouTube fun, because that's what I have written in my notes. So I've talked about this a few times across different things, everywhere, blah, blah, blah. So, yes, So obviously the back bedroom has a YouTube page, right? And that's where the episodes go. They just get re-uploaded to YouTube. So if anybody wants to come across it on YouTube, there you go. Well, I've always wanted to stream. I've always wanted to do gameplay videos. And I've started doing so because the PS5 gives me that ability. Shout out Trevar. So started playing some stuff. And I didn't like the way it felt like talking and playing. I was like, oh, this isn't as cool as I thought it would feel for me. And then I looked into no commentary playthroughs. And I did that for a little bit. Or not a little bit, like an episode or two. Or like two trial episodes. And I was like, this is cool. But man, I want to talk. And so I kept thinking. And then it hit me. And I was like, let me try hooking my podcast mic up to the PS5 and see if that works. Bingo, bango. That worked. So now my audio is a lot better. So I have been playing and recording. Just going to do some gameplay videos, upload it to YouTube. I have been talking about it a lot, but I have not uploaded anything because it is going to be on my personal YouTube channel. As I was trying to think, do I do it to the back bedroom? Do I personal? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, hey, I'm just going to let the back bedroom's YouTube thing be where those podcast episodes just auto upload. And let this channel be like my channel, right? Like just me hanging out, playing video games, having a good time. So if anybody wants to find me, you just type in, I guess, Jeffrey Carroll on YouTube. I should pop up. Well, no, there's nothing on there yet. And here's what's happening. Let me tell you why. I do have stuff recorded. I have 6 episodes recorded. So I'll record an episode, a couple episodes. And then I say to myself, okay, I'm going to upload it and then record some more episodes. But then when I get the free time to do the description and the thumbnail and stuff, I say, hey, wait. This is free time I could use to record another episode because recording is so much fun now that I choose to just keep recording the episodes. So I've got a nice little stockpile. So it is all coming, I promise. What I'm going to do now is get like a nice collection of them, and so that I can release like once a day, because like the YouTube's algorithm likes stuff like that. After talking with Anthony. Because he does like a gaming YouTube channel, and he does other stuff on YouTube. So he kind of knows that algorithm a little bit better than I do. So I'm going to wait till I get like 10 or so episodes, and I'm going to start dropping them one by one. So if you want to go ahead and find my channel, like I said, it should be just Jeffrey Carroll. You'll see me. I'll have like a back bedroom logo and stuff. You can go ahead and subscribe and everything, but the content's not there. It is coming. But I just wanted to talk about that. And I did record I made like a little 5-minute intro video that I'm going to release on that channel as well for people that just stumble across it. It's not in the best quality. I think it's in like 720 or something like that because I recorded it with a webcam that I've had for like 15, 20 years now. So, but it's not meant to be anything special. I just wanted to record something of me introducing myself and saying hey to my channel in case anybody stumbled across it and they kind of got a feel for what we're doing. So what I'm doing is God of War 2018. I'm hoping to get through it by the time Ragnarok hits and then do Ragnarok. And then hopefully the update for The Witcher 3 will be out and then we'll do Witcher 3. That is the plan right now. Speaking of God of War Ragnarok, holy hell, that trailer was unbelievable. So if you watched the State of Play, 2 days ago, or 3 days ago, I can't even remember when it was, or when you're listening to this, The State of Play, I think, was on the 13th of September. Wow. I was speechless. I watched it. It was magical. I have so many thoughts, I have so many feelings. So that's where moving the dates comes around at. Because I know that I've talked about doing a Ragnarok episode. And what I want to do with that episode is I want to talk theories and different things from God of War 2018, what I, feel for Ragnarok, and just different things like that. So again, after seeing that trailer and it blowing my absolute mind, I'm like, I need to talk about this now. So we may end up, because I wrote down the Ragnarok episode the week of my birthday, which would be like that October 14th weekend. Oh, let me pull my calendar up. Yeah, which would be October the 14th. We may bump that up. Yeah, because I'm doing House of the Dragon review today. Well, looking at the calendar, we may not. I don't know. I'm just too excited. I'm so excited about it. It's all I can really think about right now. So it's all I really want to talk about. But it's we've got the last 2 weeks of September open. I don't know. I'll let you guys know if I do bump it up. But right now, we'll keep it for the week of my birthday. Either way, it's going to be big. That trailer, so good. If you haven't seen it, go see it. The State of Play was actually really good, I thought. Not only with God of War Ragnarok, there was some other cool things announced. Is it just me, or is like Feudal Japan the new zombie games now? Like, you remember when like every game back in the day was a zombie game, and then it was battle royales? Now everything's Japan. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, I hope we don't get stuck in that cycle. Yeah, because then the 1st of October we'll do the snacks, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, cool. But yeah, State of Play was pretty good. So that I really enjoyed it. Strong close with Ragnarok. The Nintendo Direct, wasn't bad. I mean, Breath of the Wild 2 or Tears of the Kingdom, I guess, officially announced with a date. What else did they show? They showed a whole bunch of stuff that I thought was really cool. Bunch of whole new things coming to the Switch Online expansion, right, for the 64. GoldenEye with multiplayer. Mario Parties 1 through 3. I think Pokemon Stadium. Quite a few things there. So that, man, I want to get it so bad, but at the same time, I don't want to spend the money for it. But yeah, alright, so Ragnarok, yeah, get excited for that, because that's going to be a fun episode, and I can't wait until that game comes out. Alright, yeah, I did mention House of the Dragon review, but before we get into that, there's something I want to bring up. And it's kind of, I don't know, I feel like it's an important thing, so I'm going to bring it up. Let me get a drink of this Dr. Pepper real quick. Oh, there's two things I want to bring up. The first is this, and I've realized something, and, excuse me, I had to scoot my seat back, and it is that artists make no money. I was watching a show on Netflix called Blown Away. Now, this is a show that we found when we first moved into this apartment. We didn't have TV yet or anything, and we had Netflix. And it was on there, and it was a glass blowing competition show. I know, sounds crazy, but it's actually really cool. So we watched the first season. We was like, dang, that's cool. Second season came out. Cool. Well, this third season just came out. And we watched it, and the guy who won was they win like money. I think they win like $60,000, and then they win like a residency in like a museum of art and some other things. And he was talking about how life-changing that is. Like, the $60,000 to him was like, he was like, now I'm going to have money to save. He's like, there's no more like living, like where my next food and money is going to come from. And he was saying that like his art's never been displayed, and da-da-da-da-da. And now he's going to have this residency. And it hit me then, because I was like, wow, this dude is the dude that won. His name's John Moran. His art was so great. It's so interesting, because you got to remember they're doing this with glass. He had such great art, and I just kept thinking to myself, even the other people that were on the show, such great stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, man, these people, like a couple of the people, it was like a side job, because like you can't just be an artist anymore. And I got to thinking about that, and it was like the arts just got pushed down and away out of our society. Like, our civilization was like literally built with artists, right? Like, I mean, you may hear the mouse clicking a little bit because I wanted to bring this up. because I had some stuff here. I mean, you go back and look at artists, right? Leonardo da Vinci, obviously Donatello, Michelangelo, Raphael. Let me click through some of these other names. I don't know these people. I'm going through the different time periods. Let's see here. Maud, Vincent van Gogh. All right. I mean, I don't know. Would you consider Beethoven one? I mean, look how big Salvador Dali. I mean, they're just there's so many, and then you can go ancient, right? I don't know. I can't even pronounce their names, but you're talking about like Homer's Odyssey type stuff. But like, and I know he's not an artist, but you know what I mean. Like, people knew them. We know them. They're huge. They're titans in civilization. Who's a big artist now? Like, I know that we still have musical acts, but I'm not talking about that. Like, I'm talking about big painters or big artists, big creators. And I guess, like, you could consider content creators. But I don't know. I was kind of wrestling with that before I started recording because I was like, oh, people are going to come back at me with, like, Ninja and stuff like that. But, like, yeah, and not to take anything away from what he's done or people like him. I don't know who else is big, right? Or who's all been big. PewDiePie was big at one point in time. Who else is big? All the people that are big. Ninja. Oh, I should already said Ninja. I don't know. Whoever's big. But, like, all they're doing is playing someone else's creation. So, I don't know. That's sticky situation. The point I'm trying to get at is, like, I guess just artists. Just straight up artists. Like, these glass blowers. This glass blower, you know, is doing this great work, and it's going unappreciated. And he's barely making a living, barely making any money, doing what he loves. And it's just so crazy how we've, like, pushed that to the side so much that it's, like, non-existence, or it's, like, looked down upon if you are an artist or into that stuff. I don't know, it kind of blew my mind because, again, I mean, Leonardo da Vinci, like, you say that, everybody knows who you're talking about. And I don't know what kind of celebrity he was back then or how big his name was back then, but, like, man, it's just, I don't know, it's kind of crazy to me. So what are your thoughts on that? If you have thoughts on it, get back to me. Let me know. If maybe I'm the only one, maybe I just don't know any artists. Maybe I'm showing my ignorance by not knowing any big time artists now. And if that's the case, then I apologize. Okay, so quick thing before we get into the House of the Dragon reviews. So you know what this is. This is what I do every week. Gotta do it. If you like the Back Bedroom and you want to support it at no cost, all you gotta do is share the show on your social media accounts. It's completely free for you. Helps me and the show out a bunch. Share it on your Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, wherever. Share it. Tell your friends, tell your family to go and like, follow, rate, review us. I'm thinking about doing a giveaway. I think we're at like 11 Apple reviews right now. I'm just saying, if we get to 25, maybe I'll do a giveaway. If we get to 25, I'll do a giveaway. We'll do like a gift card of your gaming choice, right? So if you play PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, Steam, is that it? Any of those things. We'll do like a $20 gift card at 25, if we can get to 25 ratings or ratings, reviews, whatever, on Apple Podcast. How about that? I think we're at 11, get to 25, and then we'll draw. I'll put everybody who's rated and reviewed it, I'll put it in a hat, draw a name, and that person will get a gift card. Alright, on to House of the Dragon. House of the Dragon, episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4 have happened so far. Again, excuse my clicking. I'm going to pull the cast and everything up because I cannot keep these names straight. And I've been watching the show and I still can't keep it straight. Wow. So episodes 1 and 2 were a little slow, right? Episode 1, I was like, okay, here we go, right? Got to get brought in, see what's going on. It's 172 years before the events of of fire and ice, right? So 172 years. So I think I did some math the other night, right? Like, these people that we're watching are the great-grandparents or the great-grandparents of the people that we would have known. I think it's something like that. I think by the end of when this is done, I think we'll start not hearing names that we know, but I think it'll be really close. So episodes 1 and 2, kind of slow. 3 and 4 have picked up. 3 and 4 have been unreal. This girl that plays... Oh, gosh. Again, dude, I've watched the show, and I can barely keep up with the names. The girl that plays the young Rhaenyra, however you want to pronounce it. All right, so let me just say it like this. They did good casting for this show, I think. They did great casting. So she is... Her dad, right, Viserys, is the king, needed the heir, the baby dies at the beginning of episode 1. Oh, crap. Spoilers if you hadn't seen any of the 4 episodes. And so he names her, and people freak out, right? Because it's going to be the first woman on the Iron Throne, blah, blah, blah. And people ain't going to have that. So the brother of Viserys, who is Daemon Targaryen, he's the crazy muscle, right? Like, he goes out and he fights and he shows up and he wrecks shop. And he's wanting to show dominance. And that's pretty much what all this is, right? Is there's like King Viserys is more passive, and everybody else is kind of wanting to show some dominance and flex muscle. Like, hey, we've got dragons, we've got all this, right? The Corlys Velaryon, the other strong house at the time, is like, hey, look, let's come together, let's run this thing. We've got dragons, let's flex muscle. But King Viserys doesn't want to, blah, blah, blah. So, episode 3 and 4 is when it really starts getting good. And if you are a Game of Thrones fan, you're coming into this knowing that you know about the Targaryens. You came into this show knowing about the Targaryens, right? Because you watched Game of Thrones, you've read the books, you know all this stuff. This is already a book. House of the Dragon is already a book. It's been a book, so this is nothing new. The book is based on... the show is based on A Fire and Blood, the book. So you know about the incest, right? You know they keep it in the family. The Targaryens are a strong, slender, tall tree, family tree. So episodes 3 and 4, again, Daemon is off doing his thing, and he goes and kills the crab killer, who, man, his design was so cool. I was kind of hoping we'd get a little bit more on him, but whatever. And King Viserys now is like, Rhaenyra is old enough, so people are like wanting to wed her, to unite kingdoms, right? Like we see, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. I think it's like a Lannister, right? Like the old one of the Lannisters. So anyways, they're trying to like marry her to make the family strong. And it's kind of hard to keep up with because King Viserys, again, names Rhaenyra, Jesus, Rhaenyra, not Rihanna, Rhaenyra to the throne. And then he ends up getting with Rhaenyra's friend, and he marries her, and they have a baby, and it's a boy, and they name it Aegon the second. I can't remember now, because there's a few different Aegons. And even at one point in time, it comes up for Rhaenyra to marry her brother, or Aegon, who's like an infant at this time. It's so crazy, right? Just to trying to keep all this. And so episode 4 is when it gets wild, because again, Daemon Targaryen splits off. He's with the Velaryon group, because the Velaryons backed the idea of flexing and showing muscle. Let's get rid of this crab feeder guy because he's blocking this pathway to the ships and different things like that. So he goes over there, Daemon and his little group goes over there, kills everybody. Well, he shows back up in episode 4, and he's like, Now, he hasn't kissed up to the king the entire time, right? Like, he's been very against him. All of a sudden, he shows up, and he's being all obedient, and he's like, hey, we did it in the name of Targaryen, blah, blah, blah. So they have a feast, and everything's going down, and then Daemon Targaryen starts going after Rhaenyra, and that's his niece. That's her uncle. It's her dad's brother. So they get it on, and then she gets it on with another dude, like her guard or whatever, Kristen Cole or whatever his name is in the show. And so then it gets out, right, that Daemon came back just to try to get Rhaenyra. And the king confronts him, and he tells him, hey, that's what I want. I want to marry her. I want to keep the Targaryen name strong. Let's keep it going. Obviously, King Viserys freaks out because that's his brother and it's his daughter. And he tells him, it goes off with like him kind of beating him and telling him to leave. Now, in the lead up to that, King Viserys starts getting, what's the word I'm looking for? Not anxious, but suspicious. He's starting to get paranoid, right? So he fires his hand. He fires Otto Hightower. He doesn't really believe his wife. He doesn't da-da-da-da-da. Now, and the wife, which is the king, which was Rhaenyra's friend, she went and talked to Rhaenyra, and Rhaenyra lies to her, right? So now we're starting to get the deceit and the lies going. You can see Viserys starting to get paranoid of everybody. Doesn't know what to do. His brother is smashing his kid. The kid's hard-headed, and everybody's riding dragons. It's about to pop off. Episode 5, I think, it's about to start getting real crazy. I can't remember how long this first season is supposed to be. I don't think it's supposed to be but like 10 or so episodes. But I think these last few episodes, I think the rest of the season is going to be just fast forward. Like, the first 3 were going up tracks. No, the first 2, you were going up the roller coaster track. You're going up that real steep hill. Episode 3, you start to peak that hill, and at the very end of episode 3, you're looking down the hill, and then all of a sudden episode 4 was just like, whoa, and you're coming down it. Now you're going through a corkscrew, then an uncle's banging his niece. Now you're doing a backflip over the free fall, and then your seatbelt unbuckles, and you're like, oh crap, like I'm about to be on a social media, let me try to buckle the seatbelt, and then you got other people lying and people getting fired, and there's paranoia going on. So now you're traveling at a high speed on your roller coaster. And I think the rest of the season is going to be that way. And again, it was so funny because, like, if you know the Targaryens, if you know Game of Thrones, you know their incest, you know all this stuff. But, like, it was still so uncomfortable to watch because it's like, oh my God, like the whole time watching episode 4, I'm just going like, oh God, no. But yeah, so it's so crazy, and because people for Game of Thrones, right, because you had Jaime and Cersei, they were doing some incest stuff, and people hated it because people hated Cersei and Jaime Lannister, and they were the bad guys, right? But now with Rhaenyra and Daemon and all these people, the reaction online has been like they're perfectly cool with it, like they love it. They love the incest now because they like the way Daemon looks or Rhaenyra or whatever. And Rhaenyra, she's been a lot like her uncle in the sense that she wants to flex muscle too. She's like, we've got dragons, why don't we show them? You know, and obviously King Viserys is like, you know, you don't just do stuff like that. Like, you've got to be a king and rule and da-da-da-da-da. But it's something about, like, and I'm not 100%, but it's something about, like, her blood, right? Like, she is something, and I think Daemon is the same way, but, like, I don't think all of them are that way. So it's like, yeah, maybe it skips generations or things like that, and maybe those are the ones that they try to make marry and stay together to keep that bloodline pure. I think Dany was probably one during actual Game of Thrones. But, you know, another thing, and as big as this is and as much money, they still have these little goof ups, right? And it's not bad as like the last season of Game of Thrones where you're seeing like the mic boom still in, and you're seeing Starbucks cups on like long tables. But at one point in time, King Viserys, his fingers have rotted off, but he still, like in a couple of scenes, he still had like the green screen glove on. And it's like, man, how do you let stuff like this slip when you're such a high production? But I do think it's beating Rings of Power, which I have yet to see. We just haven't started that or watched it yet. Which is really, really crazy considering how much Rings of Power cost to make, and I don't think Game of Thrones is near as expensive. But so far, it's been good. I've really enjoyed it. I'm interested to see where it goes from here. But I think it's going to get real, real crazy now. Well, I mean, it just got real, real crazy. I guess that's dependent. The level of crazy it is dependent on your level of how much incest you can handle. If uncle-niece incest isn't too bad for you, then maybe you don't think it's too crazy. But if that's too far for you, you might want to prepare yourself, because who knows what's about to happen. Because again, they even proposed letting the little brother grow up and marrying them off. So who knows where this is going to... Well, I guess you would know if you read the book. I'm sitting here acting like nobody knows, but people that have read the book, and I've read some of Fire and Blood. I didn't finish it, so I don't know everything about it, but I am intrigued to see what they do, because I'm imagining they probably did take some liberties with certain things, but I know George R. R. Martin was connected in this, and he enjoyed it. So, but yeah, so far really good. Again, episodes 1 and 2 slow, 3 and 4 have picked up. 4 to me has been the best, just because it was so action packed in the sense of a lot of kind of that drama and here we go, like some stuff's getting set up now. Right now we're seeing King Viserys start. Could this be his down? Like, is this where we start to see his fall, where he's paranoid and not trusting nobody now, and the daughter and the uncle, and do they just show up, and does he try to force a wed? Because I think he's like told Rhaenyra like she's gonna get married to some random dude, and that's the end of the story. So maybe they have like a red wedding situation coming up, and if you know about the red wedding, then then you know what could happen. So yeah, a little bit of everything so far. I think the dragons look good. I think everything's looked good so far in these episodes. I did like how I felt like there was a lot of similarities to King Viserys and King Robert in Game of Thrones. You know, when he married Cersei toward the end, you know, he's a little overweight, and he was just always drunk and hated being king because he had to make all these tough choices and had to do this. And King Viserys was kind of in that mode for a while. Like, he was just staying drunk, and they went on the hunt, and they went and caught this deer for him to kill, quote unquote kill. And I don't know, I kept seeing a lot of similarities to those two things. And but yeah, I'm interested to see where it goes. So there's kind of my quick back bedroom thoughts on House of the Dragon. Have you been watching? If so, what have you been thinking about it? Hit me up on Twitter, email, wherever. Let me know your thoughts. I'm curious to see what everybody else thinks. I've really enjoyed it so far. I know I'm talking about House of Dragons. I'll get to it after I talk about House of Dragons. So yeah, so if you've been watching, let me know. Let me know what your thoughts are, what you think. If you've read the books, I'm okay with being, I guess it would technically be spoiled, but I'm okay with like talking like what could about to happen and different things like that. The Targaryen names are so hard to keep because, again, I think there's like 3 or 4 Aegons, because like this little boy that was just born is an Aegon, so this stuff gets tough to keep up with. Like, you have to write stuff down. They're talking about like 6, 7, 8, like this wife and this kid and this husband did this, this. It, you know, make you a little crazy, but it's fun. It's been a fun time so far. So again, let me know what your thoughts are for House of Dragon. Before I go, there is something I wanted to mention that I didn't mention a second ago, and it was one of the 2 things. I said I had 2 things. Well, I forgot to mention the second thing. Here's the second thing. Kind of Funny. If anybody out there is listening to this knows Kind of Funny, you know who they are, you know what they do. Well, they just announced that I guess their new studio place is ready, and they are going to do a live stream reveal of it on October the 14th, which is my birthday. And the name of that thing, or that place, is The Spare Bedroom. Now, do they know who the back bedroom is? Probably not. But like, I mean, I'll let you guys come up with your own things, right? Now, I'm not saying they copied me. That's not what I'm saying. All I am saying is, damn, man. and on my birthday, of all days, October the 14th, my birthday, the spare bedroom, that's what we're going with. The spare bedroom, that's what we're doing, spare bedroom. You guys, after you let me know what you think about House of the Dragon, let me know what you think about that. And I'm not saying nothing. I'm just saying. All I'm saying is I'm just saying. You guys, you fill the blanks in. I'm just saying. But look, here's the thing. House of the Dragon review, done it. Hope you guys are liking House of the Dragon. Again, I've quite enjoyed it. Again, I think the casting is great. I think this next episode we may even see them age up, because I think there's supposed to be a time jump coming up. Because I know that there's different actors and actresses casted for each, or for different people, where they age them up a good bit. Because Rhaenyra right now is young. She's in her early teens, maybe. Or maybe not even a teenager. But she's definitely early teens. If she is a teenager, she's early teens. But yeah, so that's going to do it for this episode of The Back Bedroom. Not the spare bedroom, the back bedroom. This is the back bedroom. Where you're listening to The Back Bedroom right now. The spare bedroom is being shown on my birthday. Of all days, on my birthday. So yeah, if you like The Back Bedroom, wait a minute, what am I doing this for? I'm about to tell you about The Back Bedroom again. You already know about The Back Bedroom. I told you that's going to wrap up this episode of The Back Bedroom. So thank you all so much for checking it out, for listening. There are tons of other podcasts you could be listening to, and you chose to listen to mine, The Back Bedroom. And for that, I am forever thankful. So if you want to interact with me or the show, here's how you can do so. Twitter, @The Back Bedroom. Don't really do much on that Twitter except tweet the episodes back out. If you want to talk to me on Twitter, my personal one is Space Ghost with 3 E's, so it's Space E Ghost. You can email the show at backbedroompod@gmail.com, or you can find it on YouTube, which is @The Back Bedroom. If you want to go ahead and look up mine, it's just look up Jeffrey Carroll. You'll see it. I think I've got a short and a Path of Exile video up there. So go ahead and follow it, because stuff is coming. And of course, you can always find the show wherever you listen to your podcast: Spotify, Apple, Good Pods, etc. Remember, I think we're at 11. If we get to 25, when we get to 25, gift card. If we get to 25 5-star reviews on Apple, $20 gift card. We'll put names in the hat, draw them out. So there you go. I'm trying to buy your love and buy your ratings and reviews now that we're past year 1. Now I've got to start buying stuff. I got to start shelling out, right? So once we hit 25, gift card coming. So make sure to like, share, subscribe, and rate for the algorithm. Again, you guys have done such an amazing job for me so far. Just keep sharing the show. Tell people about it. If you know someone who listens to podcasts, please turn them on to it. Again, I'm about to do the YouTube stuff, so we're going to have different things to start trying to pull people in. Just to give, and then the people that have been here, give y'all something else too, right? So tell people about it. Tell people to rate and review the show. It really helps and really means a whole lot. And as always, I'll see y'all next time, right here in the back bedroom. Not the spare bedroom. The spare bedroom is something totally different, and that's coming on my birthday of all days. The spare bedroom, totally different. I'll see y'all next week here in the back bedroom.